Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Michaela Peters. I haven't done a video in English since my update video, and because I actually have makeup on, which has not been happening recently, I decided I'm gonna record a video real quick, and I'm actually gonna talk a bit about traveling alone because, yeah, I'm not used to having like straight and hair either, so this is like a weird situation looking at myself with this. Okay, anyway, so traveling alone. Why did I decide to make a video about this? Well, I started thinking about it because I went to Riga by myself this weekend for a very brief period of time. I literally went for like a day. I think it was like 24 hours actually. Okay, maybe it was 26, but whatever. I arrived at like 7 a.m. on Monday, and then I already left Tuesday morning, which was yesterday, yeah, at like my flight was 7 a.m. Just kidding. I arrived at, okay, it was 24 hours, yes. And, okay, why do I advocate for traveling alone? Which may sound kind of counterintuitive because I did just take a trip along with my friend, which was actually really good. I think if you are very compatible with somebody in terms of traveling, it is really good to travel with them. Like, they can be a good traveling buddy. So I definitely do advocate for that. But I want to talk about some of the advantages of traveling alone because I think a lot of people are very unwilling to go on a trip, leave the house, really do a lot of things by themselves because, I don't know, some sort of fear. And I cannot kind of understand that because there are certain things like, probably because I have a degree of social anxiety, so like going to parties by myself is something very unnerving. I always feel like I need a sort of like wingman or wingwoman, if you will. But when you're traveling, you're not in a situation where you're going to like meet people. You're kind of going to explore. And I think when you're exploring independently, you can have a bit more of a richer experience. And you also have a lot of freedom to just do whatever you want to do. And I also find that you meet people along the way and can have some pretty interesting interactions. So because I was in Latvia for literally 24 hours, it's not like it was that interesting in terms of meeting people. And honestly, sometimes those situations can go awry pretty quickly, especially because even though I am somebody who now like works and has a proper job, I still opt to stay in hostels because I just feel like if I am cheaper with the way that I travel, I can then travel more. And I was thinking about making a separate video on traveling being an addiction because I do feel like I started thinking about whether that's the case for me, and the answer might be yes, and I'd like to get into why I think that's a thing. But going back to this concept of, traveling alone, it's like I will do things like stay in like the all girls section of the hostel, which I did a couple days ago in Latvia. And the one other girl who was there, I guess this is not a peak travel time for Latvia. Makes sense. It's like a very random time of year. And it was also like a Sunday night, which is kind of a weird time. It's not like a Friday or Saturday. And because some people in Europe, I think, will just travel for weekends because it's very, doable, accessible. And, oh, I just realized I'm wearing my glasses in this video because I'm not usually wearing glasses in my videos. Interesting. Okay, well, I like it with the look. Yeah, you can tell this is like an ADHD moment. It's fine. Okay, so this girl is from New Zealand, and she's been traveling for a year, and I thought it was really interesting meeting this kind of person because I start asking her questions about it. Also, I have plans to go to, for instance, Romania in February, and so she was telling me about her experience in Romania and also Albania, and she was telling me about her experience in Albania and what that was like, and so I got a lot of interesting information from her. And we didn't even really talk about New Zealand. I told her I'd been to Australia, but I hadn't yet been to New Zealand. And she told me she like was working in Japan for 4 months and that she was then working in the UK, and now she's been doing just backpacking around Europe. And I'm like, that seems really hard because I'm like, I would just get sick of wearing the same clothes all the time. Like, I already have that issue when I pack in a backpack for like a couple weeks. Like, imagine doing that for months on end. Like, this is a very embarrassing thing to admit, but I used to have nightmares about wearing the same thing to school like 2 days in a row, which is like very silly, but I don't know, that just really bothers me. I think because I also grew up having a lot of clothes. I don't know, my mom's like obsessed with clothes too, so this is just like a thing I learned, I guess. But yeah, she's like, yeah, I have to go to like thrift shops and stuff, and like, yeah, that part can be hard. And, obviously you're coming from New Zealand, it's like pretty far away. But yeah, I don't know. I just found this interaction, even though it was like 10 minutes long, to be very interesting. And, I've been going to the same girl for laser hair removal. So, like, I have conversations with her. I have, like, a rapport with her now. This is the second time I've gone to her. So, I had, like, those two interesting interactions, which honestly was like enough social interaction for me for the day because I also like went shopping and bought a bunch of stuff, which I showed in my Russian video. I still have these things over here. Like, I bought some mascara because I thought it was cute that it was in an orange container. I bought some Korean face products because, like, you know I like them. And oh, and a unicorn loofah. This is for myself. Yeah, it's not for my sister, it's for me. um, but yeah, so like if I were in this store that I was spending like, 30 minutes, and if I was with somebody else, I'd have to be like considerate of like maybe they don't feel like being in the store for 30 minutes. And some people who you travel with are like not always that nice. I mean, my friend who I just traveled with would deal with that, but like some people are like, let's go. Like I have traveled with people like that too. So I just have more of the freedom to like do all the things I want to do, eat whatever I want, eat whenever I want. Like, you just don't have to meet the needs of another person. And can it be lonely? Yes. But, this was also a very short period of time. So, yeah, probably if you're traveling for a long period of time, like this whole backpacking thing. Well, she did explain this New Zealand girl. I kind of wanted to ask her why they're called Kiwis, but I didn't know if that would be rude. I guess I could just Google that. But yeah, she was explaining how, like, a lot of times you'll cross paths with people, like, while you're traveling. So they'll be on, like, the other like kind of like people will be doing these crossroads around Europe, and you can kind of like see them and get advice from them about where to go, what to do, where to stay. And I thought all that was really cool. So yeah, I had a really nice time traveling by myself. I'm actually thinking about doing another like 1 or 2 day trip by myself again in like a month, just because I had such a nice time. And I guess I kind of want to encourage people who have never really thought about doing that, or who maybe thought about but are scared to do it. Like I want to encourage you to try to do it, because what I remember being really scared of it or uncomfortable with it, but I do find that a lot of times you have like a very rich experience traveling by yourself, and it can be more pleasant than you even expected. So that's everything for today. We'll see if I can do any more videos coming up in the next couple of days, because I have a deadline on Friday, which it's a lot of why I haven't been recording, and now I have to scrap my whole paper, and I'm not looking forward to it. So yeah, okay, and I'm gonna end this video because I do need to get going with, I extended this offer for people who are on the Russian side of my channel, but I guess I'll do it for the American, okay, yes, it's American, but the English-speaking side of my audience, where, because I like to write postcards to people, I want to extend the offer. I'm just gonna do 5 here because I know the side of my channel is not as popular. I want to extend the offer that I will write 5 personal postcards to the first 5 people who email me at migratorymichaela@gmail.com. I'll drop that in the link description below if I remember. But yeah, email me there and say you want a card. Tell me what you like about my channel. Tell me maybe a little bit about yourself, and then give me an address where you feel comfortable with me sending the card. And I'm going to do that for the first 5 people. I don't even know if I'm going to get any hits with this. I did with the Russian one. But yeah, and I'm going to use a little mail carrier person, aka a Russian person I know, to like send those once that person gets to Russia. So I think that'd be fun. Okay, so that's everything today. And until my next video, whenever that will be, we'll see. Okay, bye.